Welcome to Cinema's Underbelly, the channel where we dive into the deepest, darkest trenches of the underground to analyze and review the most obscure, obscene, and controversial films that cinema has to offer. I'm your host, Jonathan Doe, and today we will be reviewing Torment. Torment was released by Unearthed Films as the first entry in their Too Extreme for Mainstream label, a subsect of the company specifically focused on releasing films that contain such extreme and challenging content that these titles cannot be released through typical mainstream manufacturers. Torment is also the second installment in the trilogy of Death, a collection of extreme Italian films all produced by Domiziano Cristofaro, with American Guinea Pig Sacrifice being the start of the trilogy, and Expiation being the end. As for Torment, the film itself derives significant inspiration from the real-life serial killer and sexual sadist, John Wayne Gacy, though the plot does take quite a lot of creative liberties with the actual accounts of Gacy's history. And though many films surrounding the Gacy murders have been made, what makes Torment stand out and earn its place in the Too Extreme for Mainstream label is its unapologetic, explicit depictions of graphic sexual violence. An element of the film that made even the underground community split into opposing camps, with one group praising the film as a boundary-pushing artistic endeavor, and the other calling the film nothing more than pornographic. Which is interesting, considering graphic sexual violence is nothing new within extreme underground cinema. Explicit depictions of rape and necrophilia are all too familiar concepts, and yet most of these prior titles depicting equal or even exceeding levels of similar sexual violence did not create the same divisive impact within the underground community that Torment has. One theory for this comes from an aspect that makes the sexual violence within Torment unique compared to its other extreme cinematic counterparts. When it comes to depictions of sexual violence within extreme cinema, women are predominantly placed as the role of the recipient and victim. Torment, on the other hand, is a retelling of John Wayne Gacy's infamous crimes, a homosexual serial killer who exclusively abducted, raped, and murdered young men. And so, unlike the films that the extreme underground community is used to, where it is women who fall victim to sexual violence, Torment takes us on a tale where it is men who experience rape, sexual humiliation, and murder, which is part of what makes this film so significant. Extreme cinema is meant to be boundary pushing. It is meant to challenge people. It is meant to make people feel disgusted, to think about their own morality. And no matter where you stand when it comes to Torment, it was successful in making you do that. Because of the factors surrounding the Too Extreme for Mainstream label, Torment was given a 1-month pre-order window, and after that, went out of print. The number of pre-orders determined the number of copies produced, a formula that Unearthed Films is following for all its Too Extreme for Mainstream releases, making Torment and the films that follow within this label almost instant valued collector's commodities. The pre-order release for Deep Web XXX, the next entry in the Too Extreme for Mainstream label, is going on now. So if these films and this label are a concept that you may be interested in, I suggest acting fast, because before you know it, your opportunity will be gone. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can see my latest reviews and updates. Until next time, this is Cinema's Underbelly.